Hello everyone. My name is Akila. I am so excited to teach you SQL in a simple way. Without wasting any time, let me quickly share you the agenda for today. We are going to learn about what is SQL, databases, tables, joins, relations, and subqueries. First thing first, what is SQL? The full form of SQL is structured query language. It's a programming language used to manage and manipulate the relational database. Now we need to know what is database. Database is a structured collection of data that stores information in the form of tables. What is relational database? A database that stores data in the form of tables is called relational database. Now let us quickly know the features of the SQL. Data querying. Retrieve data using select statements. Data manipulation. Insert, update, and delete data. Data definition. Create, modify, and delete database structures. Data control. Manage access using grant and revoke permissions. Transactions. Ensure data integrity using commit, rollback, and save point. The reason why do we use SQL? It stores the data in a structured form. It can fetch data quickly. It modifies the data easily. And to manage the access of the data, that is who can see or modify the data. I know that you are wondering of how do we manage the tables and what kind of product that we are going to use. We will be using MySQL. It is an open source relational database management system used to store data using SQL.
Search for dave.mysql.com in the Google Chrome. There we go. Here is the web page of the MySQL. Explore all the options present in the web page and you will find options like downloads, documents, developer zone, and many more. Yes, under downloads option we can find the MySQL community downloads option and click on it and we will be navigating to the page something like this. Click on MySQL workbench. Scroll down and we will be having an option MySQL installer for Windows and click on download button. I've already installed MySQL workbench in my laptop and so I'm not reinstalling it again. Once you are done with the installation, open the downloaded file and go follow the process and choose the options accordingly. It's simple. Next, and finish process installation. The options that I'm showing in the screen might be different in your screen because I've already done the process and I'm just showing you it again. As I have already mentioned you that I have the application in my laptop, so I am closing the window without installing it. Search for the MySQL Workbench app in the search option and click to open it. Click on the local instance MySQL 92, which is the root instance, and enter the password here. Click OK to confirm. You might get the dialog box saying that connection warning. Click continue anyways. There we go. Here is our MySQL workbench and we are going to play here with tables. Here you can find that I have created a database MyDB1 table employee and inserted the values into the table. I will delete the database now. Let us create a new database using the SQL query. Create database name of the database. Here I am using MyDB1. Select the query, click on execute option to create a database. You can find whether the database is created or not in the output section at the bottom. Or refresh the schemas option to see the created database. Expand the database and see what all the things that it can handle. Click on information button right to the database and you can see the name of the database and the tables under it and the columns of the tables and many more details. As of now we see all the section as empty as we have just created the database and not the tables. Now let us create a table using query. Create table name. Within brackets add the column names like first name and the data type of the name is nvarchar of 50 characters, last name as nvarchar of 30 characters. Employee ID as integer and the address as the nvarchar with 50 characters. At last add semicolon to the query saying that the query ends here. Select the query and click Execute option. Here in the output section it is showing an error saying that the database is not selected. So we need to double-click on the database to select the database to create the table within it. After executing the table query, we can see that the table is created. It is the warning, so we can ignore it. Refresh the schema so that we can find the created table here. Expand the table and observe the added columns. Now, let us insert the values into the table under the columns. The syntax is insert into table name. Within the brackets, initialize the columns names and add values within the brackets. Select the query and execute it. You will see the inserted values in the table using Select Query. Star with the Select Query will display all values from the table. If you want to display any particular column, then give the column name within the Select option. To display the unique values of particular column name, then use Distinct in Select option. Here in our case, we have only one unique value within the last name, so we only get one value as a result. To know the count of distinct values of column, then use Count in the query. The count will display the result in the form of number. In our example, we have two different values under address, so our result is 2. Where clause is used in a condition to display the result. Here, we are using to display the value where the address is Hyderabad. Another example for where clause is, here we are using it to display the values where the employee ID is less than 5. If we change the less than to greater than, then the result will look something like this. As because we do not have the values with the employee ID greater than 5. DDL command. Here DDL means Data Definition Language. The name itself says definition. So DDL used to define and manage the database structure. We have already used the create command to create database and table. If we talk about the table, then create is used to create table. Alter is used to modify the table. Drop is used to delete the entire table. Truncate is used to remove all rows from table but keep the structure of table. Rename is used to rename the table. Here is the syntax for all the commands of DDL command. I am using the employee table that I have created before. Now I am add the new column name salary using alter. You can see the new column salary is added here. Refresh the schema and expand the database and table and see salary column here. To rename the table, I am using the rename command. Select the query and execute it, and you can see the table name will change from employee to manager. And all the values of the table of employee will remain same even after changing the table name. Truncate command is used to remove all the rows from the table without changing the structure of the table. Select the query and execute the command. To check the execution, run select command to see the values of the table. Here we cannot see the values as because we have removed all the values using truncate command. Drop command is used to delete the entire table from the database. Select the query and execute it. Now we cannot see the table manager under the database. DML means Data Manipulation Language. That means this command is used to manipulate the data of the table.
The commands are insert, update, delete.
Insert is used to add the values to the columns of the table. Update is used to modify the values of the columns. Delete is used to remove the values of the table.
Here is the syntax for the insert, update and delete commands of DML. I am using the update command to modify the values of the table.
Select query and execute it. To check the result, use select star from employee to check it is modified. You can see that the second row has modified. Here is the important note: to use the condition statement in the update command, make sure that the column is primary key here in the table. To delete the rows from the table, we use delete option. Select the query and execute it using the where clause. To check it, use select star from the employee and see the employee ID 1 row has deleted. DCL command means data control language. That means these commands are used to control the user access. Like grant is used to give permission to a user, and revoke is used to remove the permission of an user. This is the syntax for grant and revoke commands. TCL command means transaction control language. This is used to manage transaction control of database. This consists of commit, rollback and savepoint command. This is the syntax for the TCL commands.
The final SQL command is DQL, means data query language, which retrieve data from databases.
The syntax for the select command is select column name from table name where condition.